Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music, and we're going to talk about how you play a song called Sangria by Sublime. And it starts off with this really cool intro around our verse progression. And the way you play it, we start on an E major, and the way you play E major, first finger goes to the G on the first fret, second finger on the A string, second fret, and third finger on the D string, second fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds like an E major chord, and it sounds really happy. Now through the tune, you may also want to think about lifting off the third finger and making that an E7 chord. Or you could add in the pinky on the B string third for a little bit more bite. Or the arpeggio at the very beginning of the broken chord idea, kind of that ba da 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 da. Kind of works around an E5 power chord if you kind of dig on that. You can do first finger on the A string on the 7th fret, third finger on the D9, and the pinky on the G9 for a little E5 power chord. You're playing E's and B notes. That's what I call it, E5. Because if E was 1, E, F, G, A, B is the 5th. And you may want to just break up that chord, kind of A, D, G, D, A, D, G, D, kind of idea around that E5 chord. And then from there, we go to a G sharp 7 chord. And normally you do this as a 4th fret bar, second finger on the G string on the 5th fret, third finger on the A string on the 6th fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G sharp 7. Sounds really groovy happy. Or you could add in the pinky on the B string on the 7th fret for a G sharp 7. Or you could use a G sharp 5, where you do first finger on the low E 4th fret, third finger on the A string on the 6th fret, and now you're playing a G sharp and a D sharp for a G sharp 5. Or you could kind of break up that idea, kind of that arpeggio, kind of a low E, B, G, B, low E, B, G, B, kind of idea could be kind of cool. And then from that G sharp 7, you go to a C sharp minor. And normally you do this as a 4th fret bar, second on the B string 5th, third finger on the D string 7th fret, pinky on the G string 7th fret. If you strum all those together, that makes a C sharp minor chord that sounds really sad. Now you may also want to think about lifting off the pinky and make it a C sharp 7, or C sharp minor 7. Or if you're digging on the power chord idea, you could do first finger on the A4, third finger on the D6 for a C sharp 5 power chord. And the little lick around that actually is a little arpeggio of the minor chord, where you kind of go from the A string, and then the D, G, D, and then the A, and then B, G. So A, D, G, D, A, B, G is kind of the arpeggio around it. So you may want to play around with that. And then from the C sharp minor, then we go to a B major chord. And the way you play B major, normally you would do this as kind of a 2nd fret bar, third finger with the D, G, and B strings for a B major, kind of work it as a double bar idea. You could also make it a B7 chord, where you do first finger on the D string, 1st fret, second finger on the A string, 2nd fret, third finger on the G second, and the pinky on the high E second for a B7 chord. Or if you want to make it a little bit more jazzy, you can take the third finger and flatten them over the G, B, and E, make it a B9, which would be cool. Or you could take the first finger and go to the A string on the 2nd fret, third finger on the D string on the 4th fret for a B5 power chord. So through that intro, you could even kind of intro actually though, from the B major, instead of doing the 2nd fret bar or the B5 idea, you could also do it as a 7th fret bar, where you could do first finger over the entire 7th fret, second finger on the G string 6th fret, third finger on the A string on the 9th fret, pinky on the D string 9, kind of work that for a B major. Or you could lift off the pinky and kind of make that a B7 chord, and kind of work it that way. And actually the lick kind of sounds like you'd play a low E string on the 5th fret, and you could do a 5th fret slide on the low E string to the 7th fret and kind of lay in that chord, and then kind of go E, B, G, E, B, G, E. I'm kind of mixing that up a little bit over the recording, but I was kind of digging on that. B7, E, B, G, E, B, G, E. So all together you got... So all together you got... way to kind of intro the tune. Now there are a lot of other strumming options that you could play around with there. You could even use that power chord idea as kind of a down count, and I'm kind of adding a little bit of muting to that. So that might be kind of a cool and sneaky way to kind of intro the tune too. C sharp, B, or one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4 4/4 like this is down, down, up, which would be kind of a quick pace for this tune. But if you took the E and just tried that a lot, you'd have down, down, up, down, 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 down. And through that intro progression, you'd have the E down, up, down, E down, up, down, up, G sharp 7, G sharp 7. Into our verse part. Now, in our verse is that same progression. Now, one other thing you may want to think about adding to the song, though, is bass notes. And a lot of times on that first down of the down, down, up, down, up, you can add a bass for the chord. So on the E, you have low E for the bass. And then when we get to the G sharp, you have the low E for the bass. We're kind of working that 4th fret bar. G sharp 7. C sharp minor would have the A for the bass. Twice, and then going into our chorus part. And our chorus starts on an A major chord, and we play A major. First finger goes to D second, second finger on the G second, third finger on the B string second. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an A major chord, and it sounds really happy. Now you may also want to think about kind of using just the A and the D and the G strings if you kind of want more of that power chord sound, kind of a heavy sound. Or you could do this as a 5th fret bar and kind of do first finger over the entire 5th fret, second finger on the G6, third on the A7, pinky on the D string 7. And if you strum all those together, that sounds the A major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. And then from the A, we go to our B chord. But then there's this cool little walk down. You may want to kind of think about using the 7th fret bar for the E major, where you do first finger over the 7th fret to on the A, D, G, B, and E. And then you can kind of take the 3rd finger and put them over the D, G, and D and kind of get that double bar for an E major sound. And you'll kind of hear the bass note there kind of move from the A string on the 7th fret or the low E string, the E note, to a D sharp note, where you can kind of take the first finger and go back to the A string on the 6th fret and make that an E/D sharp, or E major with a D sharp in the bass. Now you could also just stay on E instead of doing that change, but that could be really cool to kind of get that E/D sharp, or E with a D sharp in the bass. And then we go to a C sharp minor chord. Kind of hang out on C sharp minor. So if we were going to do that with kind of our down idea, B, E/D sharp, C sharp minor. So you could kind of do it with just the down idea. A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, E for 2, 4, E/D sharp, and then C sharp minor, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or if you're kind of digging on the down, down, up, down, up, you'd have the A, down, up, B, down, up, down, up, E, down, up, E/D sharp, C sharp minor, A, B, E/D sharp, C sharp minor, A, B, E/D sharp, C sharp minor. To that, then you could have the A with an A bass, B would have the A for the bass, and on the walk down you could do kind of a bass down up, E/D sharp with a bass down up, and then the C sharp minor with our bass down up, down. So you have A, B, E/D sharp, C sharp minor, sharp minor, we got our A, and then kind of our B at the very end. And then there's this cool lick kind of around that if you wanted to kind of add some of those notes. It's like little broken chords and some of the chords we were talking about. You start off high E on the 5, and then B string on the 5, and then 7 on the G string. So it's a little piece of our A major. And then we can kind of take that shape and slide it over 2 frets. And now we got 7 on the high E, 7 on the B, and then 8 on the G string, and then we can kind of go to the 9th fret on the G, and then kind of do the 9 on the B string with the 7 on the high E. I'm kind of doing that with the fingers just to make that easier. And then from there we go to 8th fret on the G string, and then kind of do the 9 and the 7 again. So you can kind of use the fingers for that move. It might be kind of a cool thing to do. And then we kind of go to our C sharp minor with our arpeggio idea, kind of doing an A, D, G, B, G idea. It's kind of an arpeggio. A, D, G, B, G, kind of around the C sharp minor. So all together you kind of have 5, 5, 7, 7, 7, 8, and then the 9, 9, 7, 8, 9, 7, C sharp minor arpeggio. So that might be kind of a cool thing to do. So you want to play around with that. Or you could even add basses in for the A and the B idea, kind of thinking around the bars about kind of getting 5th on the low E with the 5th on the high E to kind of start it off. And then you can take that shape and slide it over to you, and then kind of hit the walk down. Too. And then from there, then we go back into our verse part. Now another feel I would think about through the song though is something called reggae feel, and a lot of times it kind of works off of the basses. And if you took the E for instance and kind of did the low E string for a bass, and then it did a down up, and then killed the strings with your right hand, and then we do another down, and then we kill the strings again. So it's kind of a bass, down, up, kill it, down, bass, down, up, kill it, down. It's kind of a reggae feel idea. So that could be a cool thing to kind of try through the verse too. This can be really challenging, but so we kind of take the E. So we got the low E for the bass. Down, kill it. G sharp 7. And then we got our C sharp minor. D with an A bass. E, G7. C sharp minor, B. We can be kind of challenging in tempo, because that'd be a lot faster. But that might be something to kind of practice and kind of play around with too, because that could be very fun to kind of work it as a kind of a reggae feel. And then from there, if we tried that idea on our chorus, we kind of have our whole pattern for the A, whole pattern for the B, but then you may want to work the E as kind of a bass down up to get the E slash D sharp with the bass down up, and then go to your C sharp minor. So it might be kind of a cool thing to try too. So you'd have your A, B, E slash D sharp, C sharp minor, A, B, E slash D sharp, C sharp minor, A, B, E slash D sharp, C sharp minor, from that chorus, then we go into a solo part that kind of works off of the verse form. We kind of made back into that E idea again. But what you really may want to do though is take all these ideas and kind of find a way that kind of works for you. Or if you know other licks around these chords too, you know, feel free to kind of however you want. Going into our chorus. Or you could take all these ideas and kind of mix them up all kinds of different ways. We kind of have that E slash D sharp, C sharp minor, slash D sharp, C sharp minor, A, B, E, B slash D sharp, C sharp minor, A, B. And then we'll basically be repeating those parts until we get to our outro, where you kind of hear this cool little walk down. Right after that A, B on the last chorus, we kind of go into downstrokes, kind of a E slash D sharp, C sharp minor, B, A, B, and then we really hit an E7 chord at the end. Which is nasty. But that's the basics of how you can strum along with Sangria by Sublime. So good luck.